Alright guys, so now we're on the trap part. Ruvik showed up on me again. Now my mind is just blown right now. I honestly, he's shown up 4 times where I've dodged him. Now he's showing up a 5th time and I keep dying on the 5th time. But just these constant saves are really where you need to be. As long as you're constantly saving, it shouldn't be too much of an issue for you. Right now we're gonna go take out the trap. I'm gonna use pistol ammo because there will be, I feel like there will be one point slightly later where I'm gonna want to use shotgun ammo. Again, remember I did get that explosive I just told you about. So I'm gonna use pistol ammo for this thing, and I'm gonna show you my trick. My trick for aiming on this type of part is if you suck at aiming like I do, you may have to use this trick. Basically what I do is I line up above what I'm aiming for, and I just wait for timing. Because actually trying to aim and like compensate aiming to try and shoot it on the fly, real pain. Instead, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna aim above it and wait until it comes into my crosshairs. And I'll show you how that looks.
Shit.
Again, above it. There we go. That was really close. That was really close, but I just aimed above it. It was, the sensitivity was different than what it is during the normal game. So I tapped up to try and get it up there, and it just didn't work. So I had to like hold up, and then I lost some time. But that's how you're gonna do it. Because Ruvik is being such a jerk right now, I'm going back for another save. You know, and I'm running out of stamina because, you know, that's the smart thing to do. Oh, that was very close. I'm going back to save, and then we should be... We're going to trigger another part. I want to trigger some enemies first, actually, before we go get the next brain juice, and I'll show you what that looks like as well. But we're going to save first. I'm Gambit.
The worrying.
All right, guys. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do a couple things here, and this is all strategy I'm always talking about. Where if you do this kind of in a certain order, you should do pretty well. We're gonna use an explosive bolt, but not until I say so, mind you. Do not put the explosive bolt down until I tell you to, because you have to do it a certain part. Otherwise, it will disappear on you if you have to reload your save. And this is going to be one of those where you may need to reload your manual save as opposed to just the auto save. Another one of those parts, just like in chapter 6, I believe we did. What we're going to do here, we're going to run to the right. We're not going to go in that room yet, because first we want to burn a body, a certain body. Let's burn her too. Don't remember if she comes alive. I don't think she does, but I know we got some matches in a lower room, so it's okay. But I believe the one we really need to burn is in this room. There we go. And we're also going to clean things out. But we want people to be predictable. We're going to burn this guy. Now, just when you walk up to him, just mash that circle button. Just keep mashing that circle button as you're walking up to him. And what we're going to do, we're going to try and take out the other enemies with an explosive bolt that come in through that door. There's an explosive right there as well. But we have to wait until they burst through there. And we're not going to try and do any heroics here. So basically, once you burn that body, we're going to go all the way back to the save. I know it's annoying. I know it's slow. But you're gonna have to trust me on this because you may need to learn load the save again. Hey, look, a grenade. So we have a grenade there, so I may end up using one. Remember, if you have spare parts floating around, go ahead and use them appropriately. Right now, I'm going all the way back to the save, and I'll show you. And I'll show you how that's gonna look. So what's gonna happen is after we trigger the brain, enemies will come in through that door, and it's one of the more annoying parts because there's a bunch of enemies that I guess I haven't really tried to hide from. It's one of the only times I take more of a forward approach on it,
The worrying
but
type.
you'll see what I mean in just a second.
I see.
Alright guys, I did forget about a part here, and Ruvik is just being a jerk. He showed up like, I don't know what is going on. I thought I had him figured out, but I guess not. I wasted like an hour at the beginning of these recordings just triggering him when he wasn't. Honestly, I think it's because I'm like running up these stairs and kicking open this door. And he keeps showing up in this room particularly. So I don't know. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a grenade because I have plenty. Not only because I have plenty, but I have a spare one as well, and that's really what I'm looking for. Is when I have spare ammo. When am I going to use this? I could use an explosive bolt, but that's a bottle. I could use an explosive bolt, but the explosive bolt is better for later. Yeah, the explosive bolt is better for later. Placed correctly, I believe the explosive bolt will be able to kill most, if not all, the enemies that you're going to encounter at this certain part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crouch just to give myself a different... Oh. I'm going to crouch just to give myself a different angle. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to crouch just to give myself a different angle. And there's going to be an enemy that comes busting in this door. And as soon as he does, we're going to grenade that his sorry ass. Alright, looks like we're just going to have to do it a different way. Alright, looks like that didn't kill him, so I'm going to torch him. There we go. That was annoying. But like I said, we had a spare grenade back there. Next, what I'm going to do... actually, no, not next. I apologize. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get... Nope. I'm going to get the gel. There we go. Hope Ruvik doesn't show up. I'm going to go back and get the grenade. And then we're going to run all the way back to the save because we're still not done. We don't want to go into that room yet. We don't want to go into that next room yet. Because when we do, some enemies will show up and we got to make sure we're prepared for them. I don't know why I should be going this way because Ruvik loves to be in this room waiting for me. But we're going back to the save. And then what we're going to do, we're going to get that explosive. That explosive that was on the other side of that door right there. We're going to get that explosive. Now that he busted through that door, we can go in it. We're going to get that explosive, and then I'm going to see you on the other side of getting that explosive. And then show you what to do when we go into that room. And I took the axe in with me, which means it's going to disappear. But we weren't going to use it anyway.
The word.
Again, save, save, save. If you have a community save room, look at all these saves.
Type. I see.
Alright guys, this chapter is got to be, even though it's not hard, it's just bullcrap. Ruvik shows up out of nowhere. I'm so done with Ruvik right now. Basically what you want to do is you want to get an explosive bolt. Now that we've basically cleared all of upstairs and one side of downstairs, we're going to go into this room. We're going to have some enemies show up. So I'm going to lay an explosive bolt right here. Now, the thing about this is, Ruvik, you need to do this in one take. However, there is a checkpoint in between. By the way, I have the explosive bolt there. I also have 2 spare shotgun rounds in the far room, so I'm going to potentially use these if I need to, and you'll see that. But you need to do this part in one take. If you don't, if you trigger the checkpoint and then die, reload your manual save, not the checkpoint. By the way, when Ruvik shows up, that fireplace is blocked, so you can't like hide from him in there, unfortunately. Don't forget this key here. See, we're really collecting keys for when we'll need them later on. But I laid that explosive bolt there. I'm moving around. Now, I'm sure there's a way that I could trigger these enemies and hide somewhere so that so that like they start a path and I could try and get them that way, but it's just too unpredictable, too risky. I'm actually going to take them head on. Now, we used an explosive bolt. Here's another one. Once we get this, we will trigger a checkpoint, which is why we set up that manual save right before. All right, let's listen in real quick.
Number 12, test 71B, electrode placement A2, stimulation of amygdala, seat of emotion and memory allocation, the fear center of the brain. Subject feels as I do. This vessel is far too weak to withstand the psychological weight I myself bear daily.
Okay, so we're going for the fear center. Basically just right and a little bit up of the current pin. So here's the current pin. So we're going just right and a little bit up. There we go. So this is where the checkpoint is going to be, and we're going to trigger some enemies, and just pray to God that Ruvik doesn't decide to show up. I find that for me, he doesn't he doesn't show up immediately after I have been killed by him. So I usually have some time in between when I'm killed by him and when he shows up again. Keyword usually. So what we're looking for is over here. We had that explosive bolt set up. Again, this is just the one take, which is what you need to have this work this way, essentially. If you're more skilled than me, maybe you can just take them out. If you're more skilled than me, well, you probably are. I don't want to be exploded by my own explosive bolt. This whole thing is so sketchy. Well, they're not showing up right now, but I'm already full on explosive bolts, so it doesn't matter. Hopefully they won't, essentially, usually more than one enemy comes busting through that door. Maybe I just killed them all with what I've already done. But that's a strategy to use. I am already full on these anyway, so it doesn't matter. So we're going to save, and then we're going to do the third one, which I think the only thing we have to be worried about with the third one is Ruvik. I don't... All right, guys. So here we are at the next part. I do believe there's an enemy or two, but I unfortunately I can't remember exactly where they are. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna wing this a little bit, and I believe it involves moving quickly. Is what this what these next one or two enemies really requires to be done here. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this door and move quickly to try and knife him. So I'm just holding the up button and I'm going to be mashing the X. And I'm going to be moving slightly right. There we go. I moved slightly right because I didn't want to pick up whatever this was. Sniper ammo. I love me some sniper ammo. Let's go ahead and do this stuff. And then let's get back to the save before Ruvik shows up. Yeah, you know, these are a lot of strategies that I think some of these are strategies I think most people can figure out on their own. But what was that? Oh, it was the R1 trigger. That I think most people can figure out on their own. But this is I'm a real gamer. I'm not a pro. I don't get paid for this. This is just a hobby of mine. I would love to make money on it, but my YouTube's not even. I'm a poor guy, so I don't have the money to buy games on first days. I don't have the time to be creating walkthroughs within the first week. Blah 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 blah. But that one should help you out. Just kill her, and then we can run back to the save. And there may or may not be a second enemy. I vaguely recall on my first playthrough there was a second enemy, but not on my next couple playthroughs. So we're gonna save right here, and I'll see you in the next bit.